The G-Spot!
It's in 3 parts, which I pretty much threw away a lot of Roman numerals, so bear in mind. Part H. Among soft October evenings, pheromones burn on 4 mauve candles in a darkened room. You wear a gown of peacock feathers looking as fair as the daughters of the sea. Moonlight casts your silhouette on beaches where you fill a bullet casing with the remains of the mandala and dip it in a delicate bowl of pebbles and goldfish. You aim for the heart chakra and pull the trigger. Taking a few raspberry-colored roses, setting them in a clay bottle of lancers, twisting a petal through your fingers with chanting, I put a spell on you because you are mine. The moon affects my heart murmur. This is straightforward logic. I long to stroke my hands through your hair without singeing my fingertips, so I hold your waist and spin you around, watching your hair whip in the autumn's breath like wildfire. I once thought if I continued dancing, I most assuredly set the forest into flames, and then I would see what celestial bird rises from the ashes of incense and spell books. You possess the Book of Shadows. I, on the other hand, have the 5th edition of the Roget's International Thesaurus, stolen from the public library. I'm not mentioning which one. I scrawl my carefully selected words in stuff, just so my incantations will be more personal than charming, and I recite, Go forth, my children, and multiply. Part H.E. The educated lover's familiar sense is the hour that chimes the apex of night, weighing the same as a duck. You make your entrance naked with appalling stripes inflicted by a legionnaire. I must assume you've come to do battle instead. You ask for Gaia's consent, tugging a cocoa leaf and biting it between your teeth before you anoint me with your candied lips. A dying piecemeal, exquisite and excessive, you lie beside me, cool as the wet leaves, committing an indiscretion of sugar and spunk. Part H.E.X. Soon the dawn arrives to worship wisdom, riches, and feet, and I find myself alone, recognizing the upside-down M on my palms, listening to the breeze as if fanned by a minotaur's tail, as it twists my head backwards through a whisper of your tacit name. That used to be, you know, the guy that had like a bullhead that Sean Connery killed in Time Bandits?
Uh-huh.
That's the Minotaur, and apparently, according to Dante, whenever anybody dies and goes to hell, the Minotaur basically decides what level of hell you're going by the swivel of its tail.
Ooh, so if you get a big swivel, do you get to go deeper in hell?
Well, sort of. You get like 8 swivels. I think you go to the big, deeper one. But then again, I'm full of useless facts. Yes.
This is like a Japanese show. Well, now, what motivates you to create your poetry?
Trying to pick up girls.
Ah, the poet, the soft, sensitive poet. Do you like? Well, you don't have a microphone. You like men that do poetry, don't you, K-Spot?
Sometimes.
That's usually the response I get most of the time. So anyway.
Maybe we should pick another poem from Soft and Chewy.
Can we read one?
Yeah, do you mind if Courtney reads one?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's listen to Courtney. You can practice your putting.
Okay.
You can practice your putting, yes. There you go, sir.
Let's see.
This is fun. This is crazy.
The Rabbit Who Cried, Virginia. She was a poet with a heart beating 5 times faster than mine, but it suffered a puncture that was deeper than that of a Bowie knife. She wore a purple wig and a tattoo of a rose on her back. She told me I must murder my personal angel, and then she graphically described gruesome ways to skin a rabbit. She never knew I had a short-eared pet bunny which my mother named Cadbury. Its eyes were the brightest pink I've ever seen. Instead, she noticed my Persian cat with its tongue sticking from its mouth, and she called it a pet Ewok. Once it brought a dead mouse to my door. My cat's name is Misha. She stayed over for the night, but she slept in the living room while I slept alone in the bed sheets my cat peed on the morning after she knocked on my bedroom door and asked to use the shower. One day I found my rabbit lying still in its cage, and its eyes were open to reveal a dull, lifeless shade of gray. Before the summer, I shaved all the hair off my cat. The night she came back, I hid the poem that took me a year to write, and I placed it inside a bin before I covered it with dust-free kitty litter. Ever so often, I fall asleep on the couch with Mozart's Requiem on the stereo, while most of my dreams portray beautiful angels devoured by large mice with long ears. Scott, this poetry, it's very how do you say revealing?
Oh.
Well, that's because I had a very interesting experience with one other particular poet from San Francisco, which, of course, I'm not saying nothing actually happened. She was with a troupe, and they stayed over at my place, and I pretty much stayed in the bedroom, where, of course, my cat was so ticked off that it decided to go ahead and mark its territory in my bed. And who says cats are the companions of lovers and scholars?
It is scary, but it's funny.
It's cat pee-pee poetry.
It's
Here at the G-Spot.
That's right. We enjoy cat people. That's right. Yeah, and that's good. Thank you, K-Spot. That's right. If you've enjoyed watching this episode of the G-Spot, or
Even if you haven't.
even if you haven't enjoyed watching, and we know there's people that don't like the G-Spot.
Find us different.
They find us different and difficult and not enlightening. But there's people that have to do like us. But anyway, email us at gspotchannel20@yahoo.com. That's gspotchannel20@yahoo.com. One more time. That's gspotchannel20@yahoo.com. Someday we'll get... There's the graphic. There's the graphic. What was that again? gspotchannel20@yahoo.com. Yeah, Craig the cameraman has been moved up to Craig the Chiron guy tonight. So he's learning something new. So isn't that exciting? That exciting. Well, Scott, I want to tell you, man, thanks, brother, for coming on the show and reading some poetry.
Nixon.
K-Spot, you are an animated reader
Thank you.
of poetry. Yes, you are.
Thank you.